Okay, so have you ever been scrolling through your professional feeds, maybe LinkedIn or something similar,
Yeah, all the time.
and suddenly, a piece of advice just hits you, like really hits you?
hmm Not just well put, but genuinely insightful.
Exactly. It gives you that new perspective or maybe an unexpected strategy idea. You get that little, like, aha moment, that click.
Totally. Feels like, real wisdom, something you'd save.
Right. You might bookmark it, share it, maybe even quote it later. Now, just imagine for a second. You find out that piece of wisdom, that insight you just valued.
Uh-oh, where's this going?
It didn't come from a human, not some expert burning the midnight oil. Nope.
Let me guess. AI.
An artificial intelligence just, crunching data while we're all asleep. It's kind of jarring, isn't it?
It really is.
So today, that's what we're doing. We're taking a deep dive into this pretty wild world where machines are, well, increasingly stepping into that thought leader role.
Yeah, and it's a fundamental shift, isn't it? It changes how we get information, how we even define wisdom. This deep dive, it's really about digging into this burgeoning industry
Yeah.
of AI-driven thought leadership.
Right.
We got to look at the ethics, obviously, but also, like, what's the real value here from these digitally generated insights?
Because they're definitely shaping things.
Oh, absolutely.
Sure.
They're all over our feeds. They're influencing decisions. It makes you ask, are we tapping into some huge new source of knowledge, or is it more like sophisticated digital mimicry, like puppets?
Okay, yeah, let's unpack that. Because, this isn't some niche thing anymore, is it?
Not at all.
AI-generated content, it's kind of undeniably arrived. It's way past being just a novelty. It feels pretty pervasive now, especially in professional spaces. Those, LinkedIn posts that just seem to perfectly capture a workplace issue.
Or those big industry reports.
Exactly. They shape business decisions. And it's wild how quickly we went from being skeptical.
Like, no way this is real.
Yeah. To now it's more like a quiet acceptance. I remember thinking, this sounds so generic, but now often it's more, wait, that actually makes sense. You almost expect it.
And what we're seeing is the rise of these, well, digital influencers. Some people are even calling them AI thought leaders.
Right.
Picture these entities. They might have millions of followers, and they're just constantly churning out stuff on leadership or strategy or market trends.
And they're not just simple chatbots.
No, these are really sophisticated systems. And what's kind of remarkable is how they distill this, workplace wisdom without ever having had a coffee break.
Or a budget crisis.
Or that feeling of dread before a big presentation.
Right.
The speed and the scale that AI offers.
Yeah.
It's just unmatched by humans alone.
Yeah.
It's not just putting ideas out there. It's about meeting this constant demand for information that, honestly, we just can't keep up with by ourselves.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. You hear about these silicon souls teaching us strategy, and it just begs that question, how? How do these machines actually generate insights that feel compelling? That sometimes even feel, original?
Yeah.
What's the secret sauce there? What's making them seem so wise?
Well, fundamentally, it kind of boils down to three core mechanisms. Think of it like a super efficient, multi-stage process for creating insight.
Okay, lay it on me.
So the first stage is what you could call the data feast. This is where large language models, LLMs, come in.
Right, the LLMs.
They are just programmed to consume absolutely staggering amounts of information, like millions of articles, books, papers, online conversations, reports.
Basically everything.
Pretty much speed reading the entire internet and more while you and I are, sleeping.
Yeah.
But it's not just reading. It's like ingesting every little nuance, every connection, every statistical blip in that huge human knowledge base.
So it's not just skimming.
No, far from it. For instance, an LLM doesn't just read about market trends in one area. It's processing decades of financial reports, geopolitical stuff, consumer sentiment, even obscure academic research on, like, behavioral economics all at once.
Wow.
It's connecting dots across fields that, a human expert who's usually focused on one specialty might never even think to link.
So it's not just the amount of data, it's the sheer breadth and the ability to connect it all, like having every library instantly cross-referenced.
Exactly right. And that leads straight into the second mechanism.
Yeah.
What I call pattern recognition magic.
Magic, okay.
Well, it feels a bit like it. After this massive data feast, these algorithms don't just, store the info. They get incredibly good at spotting really subtle trends, synthesizing complex ideas, and then generating what feel like original insights.
How?
They're finding correlations between things that seem totally unrelated, predicting outcomes based on historical patterns they've identified, formulating strategies faster than, a whole team of consultants fueled by coffee.
Give me an example.
Okay, so an AI might spot a tiny emerging link between, say, shifts in global shipping logistics and specific changes in how people are searching online for certain products.
Okay.
A link like that could potentially predict a market shift weeks, maybe even months, before human analysts who are probably looking at those data sets separately would ever connect those dots.
So it's not just repeating stuff, it's finding new connections within the stuff.
Precisely. Creating new narratives from existing information.
Got it. And the third mechanism, I'm guessing it's about getting those insights out there.
You got it. The third one is the scalability superpower. And this is where AI really truly pulls away from human experts.
How so?
Well, think about it. One sophisticated AI system, it can produce content 24/7 across loads of different industries. Never needs a break, never takes a vacation, never has a moment of self-doubt.
Unlike us.
Right. Compare that to humans. We need sleep, we take holidays, we get sick. And let's be honest, sometimes we need therapy sessions just to handle the mental load of our jobs. So this scalability means AI can deliver tailored, data-driven insights to maybe hundreds of thousands of users at the same time. Or generate specific reports for countless businesses simultaneously. It just completely changes the bandwidth for thought leadership.
Yeah. Moving from individual human limits to this almost infinite digital output.
Okay.
Okay, understanding the how definitely helps paint the picture. But wow, it also kicks up some really big questions, doesn't it? If algorithms are now shaping public conversations, influencing major business moves, even writing our professional aha moments, I mean, what does that actually mean for us, for the integrity of knowledge? Maybe even for our own thinking.
Yeah, and this brings us right into some really crucial territory.
Yeah.
The ethical echoes, you could call them, and what this means for authentic angles when we talk about AI content.
Yeah.
The first big question is, simply, who's really talking? When you read these super polished insights, are you really engaging with, like, the distilled wisdom of human experience? Or are you, maybe in a deeper sense, just interacting with a very clever form of digital mimicry? Is it a true reflection of human thought? Or is it just an incredibly convincing simulation based on patterns it found? And that matters, right? Because if the source isn't human, does the wisdom carry the same weight? Does it have the same potential for, like, empathy or real understanding?
That's a really powerful point. It challenges that basic assumption about who the teacher is. And then, well, there's the whole ownership thing, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. Which leads us to the very tricky issue of IP inception. Intellectual property.
Yeah.
If an AI learns and synthesizes from millions of pieces of human-created stuff, articles, books, research, art, you name it, who actually owns the new insights or strategies or even creative works it spits out?
Good question.
If an AI comes up with some groundbreaking marketing campaign after analyzing thousands of old ones, does the IP belong to the AI's developers or the original creators it learned from? Or is it something totally new?
That's a legal minefield.
It really is. An ethical and legal frontier we're only just starting to map out. And the implications for creative fields, for IP law, they're huge.
And beyond who owns it, there's the question of whether it's truly new. Like, can a machine genuinely innovate? Or is it always just building on what we've already done?
That's the heart of the innovation or imitation debate. Can machines truly come up with genuinely novel concepts, original ideas? Or are they just incredibly sophisticated remix artists mashing up human creativity at superhuman speed?
Because real innovation often comes from weird places, right?
Exactly. It comes from personal experience, intuition, those weird leaps of faith, even mistakes, things we usually associate with, well, being human.
Right.
So when an AI innovates, is it a real creative jump? Or just an unprecedented combination of existing bits and pieces? It's not a trivial difference.
No, because if they're mainly imitator, even brilliant ones,
then what does that mean for the future of human creativity and original thought? Like, when a human composer creates a whole new music genre, it often mixes skill, emotion, a unique worldview. Can an AI, without that lived experience, really do the same? Or will its output always be sort of a brilliant copy?
a pastiche.
Yeah, a very, very good pastiche, maybe. And this all leads to what I think is a pretty profound reality check.
Okay.
We might be sort of outsourcing our deepest thinking, handing it over to entities that have literally never felt a moment of doubt, never failed, never felt regret, never known that quiet satisfaction of a personal breakthrough.
All the stuff that makes us human.
Exactly. Those are the moments, the crucibles, that often forge real human wisdom, empathy, resilience. So insights generated without that shadow of struggle or the warmth of human connection.
Yeah.
How do they really resonate? What crucial, subtle things might they be missing when they try to guide us?
Wow. Okay, that is definitely a lot to think about. But maybe the future isn't just humans versus AI, right? Maybe it's more collaborative, humans with AI.
I think you're absolutely right to pivot there, because that's likely where things are headed. It's probably not about replacement.
Hopefully not.
It's about synergy, what we could call the human-AI co-authorship revolution. There's some really powerful models emerging for how we can move forward together.
Okay, like what?
Well, first, there's this idea of hybrid harmony. This is where basically human experts set the direction, provide the context, inject the crucial nuance.
The human touch.
Right. Well, the AI does the heavy lifting, generating, synthesizing, drafting content at that incredible speed. Think of it like having the world's best research assistant. Tireless, hyper-efficient, never gets angry.
I can use one of those.
Right. It sifts through mountains of data, drafts compelling points, even suggests counter-arguments. And that frees up the human to focus on the really high-level stuff. Critical thinking, ethical judgment, emotional intelligence, adding that unique human voice.
So an example.
Okay, imagine a marketing team. The AI could analyze billions of data points, consumer feelings, past campaigns, trends, and draft-like, dozens of headline options or core messages.
Okay.
Then the human marketer steps in, fine-tunes the emotional angle, makes sure it lands right culturally, adds that spark.
So leveraging strengths.
Yeah.
AI for scale and data, humans for nuance and creativity. That sounds like it could also make expertise more accessible.
Exactly. Which brings us to the second big potential benefit. Democratized expertise.
How so?
AI can act as this great equalizer. Suddenly, maybe a small startup with not much cash can access the kind of strategic analysis that used to be only for, like, Fortune 500 companies with huge research teams.
I see.
Or an independent consultant can use AI-powered data analysis to back up their insights, letting them compete with much bigger firms. It means high-quality, data-driven thought leadership isn't just for the elite anymore. It becomes accessible much more broadly.
Fostering innovation everywhere.
Potentially, yes. And looking even further ahead, the future forecast. It points towards a world where the most effective, most respected thought leaders might actually be human AI teams.
Like cyborg consultants.
Kind of, yeah, cyborg consultants. Combining the AI's analytical power, speed, data crunching with the human's creativity, empathy, ethical compass, and that deep understanding of human experience. The human becomes the conductor, the strategist, the ethicist, but amplified by the AI engine.
That vision of collaboration is definitely compelling, but it probably brings new challenges too, right? For those of us listening now just trying to make sense of our feeds, our careers, what's the practical advice? How do we navigate this right now?
Yeah, good question. Navigating this new narrative, it really comes down to a few key strategies for you, the individual listener, to keep in mind.
Yeah.
First, you kind of need to develop a more critical eye. Learn to spot the bot.
Sure.
Well, look for signs. Is the grammar almost too perfect, lacking any normal human slip-ups?
Yeah.
Is there a real lack of personal stories or a unique, maybe even quirky voice? Do the insights feel a bit polished? Maybe too universally applicable, almost blandly competent, without any real human grit or vulnerability showing through?
If it sounds like anyone could have written it for everyone?
It might just be AI. Yeah. Often, real human writing has a certain texture, maybe a bias, a spark of individuality.
Got it. What else?
Second, we should all demand disclosure. As people consuming this information, we need to push platforms and creators to be transparent, to clearly label when AI is involved.
We deserve to know.
Absolutely. You deserve to know if you're learning from a human's lived experience or a sophisticated algorithm. Transparency is just crucial for trust and for letting you decide how much weight to give the information.
Makes sense. And finally,
Try to embrace the evolution. The future of expertise probably isn't about humans being replaced. It's more likely about humans being empowered.
augmented.
Augmented, exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot where technology amplifies human insight, rather than trying to replace it entirely. So focus on honing those uniquely human skills.
Like critical thinking.
Critical thinking, creativity, emotional intelligence, ethical reasoning, the ability to connect disparate ideas with empathy. These are the skills that will let you leverage AI's power to make your own human contributions even stronger, more impactful, reach further.
Wow. What an incredible journey we've taken today. Seriously, from that initial, maybe surprising, aha, moment scrolling your feed, through understanding the complex mechanics behind how AI does this, grappling with those really deep ethical questions,
Yeah, they're big ones.
and then ultimately exploring these potential ways humans and AI might actually work together. It really feels
Yeah.
like a landscape that's, well, full of challenges, but also incredible opportunities.
Absolutely. And as you go about your week, keep engaging with this, keep thinking about it. I guess I want to leave you with this one final thought.
Okay.
By 2030, maybe sooner, the most influential, the most trusted thought leader you follow. They might not be a human who's ever struggled with imposter syndrome or had a truly bad day or even needed like a serious coffee habit to function.
It might be a neural network.
It might just be. And honestly, that's both kind of terrifying and absolutely fascinating. So consider what that future really means for how you consume knowledge, how you evaluate insights, and maybe, just maybe, how you'll contribute your own unique human wisdom to the world.